Hello guys and welcome to Firestorm gameplay and first impressions. So what you're seeing here today is gameplay and highlights from a recent capture event that I went to in Stockholm a couple of weeks back, and I want to say that I got to play for around 2 hours and we did solos and squads, and what you're seeing here is my first solo win in Firestorm, dropping into the game here. And what we're going to be doing in this video is just going through some cool moments, and I'll be explaining some of the gameplay mechanics and impressions, really, just what I think about the game. So I've dropped in here, and as you can see, the map is just absolutely gorgeous. And one of my biggest takeaways from playing Firestorm just for this limited time was that it was so nice as a BF5 player to be able to play in a new environment, a new location, be surprised, find little coves where loot is hidden away, new firing angles, positions, and just get lost in this big, beautiful environment. Now what you saw there was me applying a armor plate to my vest, and I'll explain the armor plate system a little later on in the video. And you also saw me finding a artillery barrage back there when I climbed up the ladder. So there are lots of call-ins in this. As you can see, you can just fire off the artillery barrage there. I didn't expect to get a kill with this, but I just wanted to see what kind of damage does an artillery barrage do in a Frostbite engine battle royale game. It just destroys everything around it. The radius is quite large on it too. Almost killed myself here. Didn't get the kill on the enemy though, but we'll see what happens next. Vehicles, big part of Firestorm. Armoured vehicles too. This was one of those butt-clenching moments where I saw a staghound, and I've got no anti-tank at this moment in time, so I had nothing to deal with that guy. So, best course of action was just to hide. And here, this is a vehicle breakout. So at certain locations on the map, you can find these, and within that bunker is a vehicle. But it takes bloody ages to open the thing up. So it's a risk-reward thing where it makes a lot of noise, so if anyone is nearby they will hear that, but if you get it open, there's your reward. And I think that can be a tank down there too. It's a staghound. There's some fuel. The vehicles have fuel in this game, and you've got to keep them topped up, otherwise you're going to run out of juice and you won't be able to drive them. You can find a safe in these breakouts too in the corner. It might have awesome loot in it. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. So what I've got to do is get out and open the other side. Don't really want to do that, to be honest with you, because there's probably players around, but if I want to get the vehicle out, then we just have to. So there I go on the other side, opening up door number 2. And I think I get attacked here, yeah. Got stuck a little bit on the wheel there. Almost died. But we managed to get in the staghound and just sit back, recuperate, and then we break out. Can't see the guy immediately. He's around somewhere because I get a Panzerfaust in my arse. Nasty, I'm going to make a run for it. Now, some of the vehicles in Firestorm work differently than they do in the base game. And what I mean by that is that certain tanks, for example, are squad-based vehicles, so the driver can only drive, and if you want to fire, you need a squad mate in there on the cannon or on the machine gun. Bit of a balance idea there. And here I'm refueling because I picked up that jerry can. Takes ages to refuel, but obviously that's quite important. We're getting towards endgame here. Supply drop came in. Let's have a look. Nice shotgun. So the weapons in this game are different rarities. If you find a pink or a gold, then it's going to be better specced out. You can get bigger backpacks, you can get level 3 chest rigs, which allow you to apply more armor plates to your body. So that's the loot system that they've gone for in this game. There aren't any attachments for the weapon, it's rather the rarity of the thing that you find on the ground. And you may have noticed that the base health is 150 in Firestorm, and every armor plate that you get adds 50 health. So there's no damage mitigation, it's just adding health to your body. So I managed to find a V1 in one of those supply drops, and the V1 is the rarest item in the game at the moment, and you can hear it coming, and as expected, it's going to make a big boom. So I picked up the kill on the infantry guy there, and it's just me versus a tank. Not something that I've done in a battle royale game before, I have to admit. And the only anti-tank I've got really is this, the AT grenade pistol. Starts shooting at me. You can see the flames encroaching here. Get a hit on the guy there. Quick reload. And that's it. Disabled, so got a chance. And I called in a vehicle just in case, but the dude jumped out. And we got the victory. There it is. That was my first ever win in Firestorm. Only 3 kills, but I mean, felt good. It was exciting. Got my heart pumping at the end there. I think the outro bit could do with a bit of gravitas, but yeah, there it is. Now we're playing a squad game here. I was playing with Stoddy and Adam and Tommy from the 2 Angry Gamers, and I've got the Schwimmwagen here. It's an amphibious transport vehicle with a machine gun on it. Very fun. Picked up Tommy there, my squad mate. And this is right at the start of the game, so we don't really have any loot, but I thought for a laugh, you know, get in the Schwimmwagen, see if we can attack these dudes on the bridge here. This is a real thing. I actually built this. It's very cool, but we get up on the bridge and I found a vehicle call-in, and it turned out it was another rare thing. This time a Sturmtiger, and we decided, you know, can you get crushed by it? The answer is yes, you can get crushed by vehicles. Bit of myth busting there. I don't know why I called it in on the bridge, just for a laugh, I think. But yeah, Sturmtiger basically fires a bathtub. You don't get many rounds with it though, but this one you could actually fire as the driver. You can find vehicle ammo too though to replenish it. I mean, it's it's tricky to get that thing out. But here we are running away from the storm. And the firestorm is horrific in this game. When you're in it, you just don't want to be there. You're actually set on fire, and there's this really cool animation, as you can see him flaming away there. Some mad lads here on a tractor. There's going to be so many memes created with this thing. It's a one-seater, unfortunately, but you can ride on it, like you can in vehicles in the base game. Have you ever seen a tank and a tractor go to war together? Well, yeah, you have now, I suppose. But we started to engage another squad here. So much fun, man. Like, one thing to take away from Firestorm is that there are probably more only in battlefield moments in this than there are in the base BF5 games. It's just fun. You've just got this massive map, huge sandbox to play in. Tanks, helicopters, which you'll see later, vehicles dropping in, V1s exploding. I mean, this is your typical firefight. They're not all like this, of course. It's not always this chaotic. Most of the time it's just guns, but because of the vehicles thrown in there and all the different loot, you just get these beautiful only in BF moments that are great fun. I think I started to get hit here quite a bit. Enemy squad. I had quite enough of the Sturmtiger. Nasty. There's a lot of anti-tank in the game. I don't think tanks are going to be a problem, really. But unfortunately, at the moment, in certain vehicles, like the Sturmtiger, if you get blown up, it doesn't knock you out, it just instantly kills you, so you don't have a chance to be revived. So I'm hoping that they update that. I'm pretty sure that they will. Now, one thing that you may have noticed is that the map is big, but when the round starts, the firestorm is already in a random location. So one round will not use the entire map, as you can see. I'm bringing it up there to demonstrate. And I think this is for pacing reasons. This is only a 64-player battle royale. Will they try more in the future? Maybe. For now, it's 64 solos and squads at launch, and they're going to add duos, I think, in April, they said. But when you start the game, you're forced to jump within that allocated play space. And to be honest with you, from the amount of rounds that I played, I liked it. The average round time I think was around like 18 to 22 minutes, and I didn't really notice any downtime or lulls in the early game or mid game. It always felt like there was something going on, like a squad fight, or you could hear someone opening a breakout or capturing an objective, and you'll see that soon. The down player there. You may have noticed he had his knife out. You can also shoot one magazine of your secondary, whatever it is, while you're downed, so you can defend yourself a bit, and we'll talk about that a bit later on. This is how the loot looks in the game. I think it needs some refinement. It kind of pops out the players in these big 3D boxes, and they look nice, but they're not great for usability. I think this is a case of art design overruling fun and gameplay design. It would have been fine if it was just a box on the ground like they do in Apex, where you get a 2D list of all their items, but this is how they're doing the loot in this game. Inventory's on the right of the screen there. Again, a little bit clunky. I think it's going to take some getting used to, but after a few rounds we started to understand it a bit more. There's a ping system in the game, not as elaborate as Apex, and you can drop ammunition, you can split ammunition, and you've got a total pool of ammunition too, which some people like, some people don't like. You can see splitting the ammo there. And this is one of the objectives that appeared, and these are located all around the map. Every now and again a new objective will come up, and if you capture it by doing this, you know, just as you do in Conquest, then an airdrop will be called in, and in that airdrop you've got loot. You see, this is what I mean here. It starts to get a bit messy, right, with all the 3D boxes everywhere. But Criterion and DICE, who are working on this game, they were taking our feedback on board, so I expect that there will be plenty of updates and improvements to the game. Got in a little squad fight here with the guys in the barn. And that's the last kill. Unfortunately, there was another dude, I think, from a different squad firing at us. Down there. No new weapons in this game as far as I could tell yet. All of the weapons were from the base BF5 game, which I was kind of disappointed by, I suppose. I was expecting to see some new weapons, but maybe that will come down the line. Enemy tank there shooting at me. And really, yeah, I've got to back away from that, run back to my squad. Bandages, you can heal yourself here. Takes a little while to get back up to full. Of course, you've got all your normal grenades too. Nice sniper rifle here. Didn't have a long range scope on it though. And I didn't get to use it, unfortunately, because the tank decided to rock up on us. But we made the call, you know, let's try and take this dude out. I think there's a full squad in there. Nice shot there with the Panzerfaust in the side. And then the tank decides to just crash through the building. I'm trying to get mines on it. The squad bail out. And I go down, bleeding out. Now if you watch what happens here, so I've got a Liberator as a secondary. How many shots you get before you reload on that? One. And the enemy just crawls towards me here and starts meleeing me to death. I think that's going to be more annoying than anything, because it's going to mean that when you're down and there's another down player next to you, you're more than likely just going to get thirsted straight away, or you'll thirst the other person. And there's no respawn mechanic in this game like there is in Apex, and that's a really nice feature of BR. So I think people will miss that, but this is more of a hardcore BR game, I suppose, than Apex is. Helicopter here, the Fletner. Oh, you won't believe, guys, it is so much fun to have a helicopter in BF5. You don't understand how much you've missed transport helicopters until you play this, and you're like, damn, they just create so many cool battlefield opportunities. And they're transport vehicles in this game. Look how awesome that thing looks. Of course it's a 4-seater too. Look at it, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Beautiful. There's no guns on it, but you can sit on the side and you can sit in the back and use whatever you want, really. So you could be anti-tank, anti-infantry. If you're a good shot, it's going to be difficult. Use this to get around the map. Just taking in the scenery here. Flying towards the new zone. And here I think there's a roadkill. Squash. Whoever that was had a really bad day. Sports car. Look at this. What is that? I think that's the fastest ground vehicle though, so if you want to get from A to B fast, that's what you want. Nice and red though, so you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. Maybe you just want attention. This snowy area too looks great. Kind of different biomes as you move around the level. I think there was an enemy helicopter over there. So more than one at a time can be up in the air. Couldn't really get a shot. But there's potential here, isn't there, for shooting helicopters out of the sky? Using dynamite. All sorts of stuff. Those BF moments that you can't do in the base game, really. You could have that here. Big explosion there. Not sure what that was, didn't get to see. But we found ourselves in a squad fight here, and there's a tank too. It's gonna get spicy. And you guys know how I feel about BR on Frostbite. It's something that I've wanted since PUBG first came around and I was hooked on that game. And it doesn't seem to me that this is just a PUBG clone, and I think the introduction of the vehicles is an interesting aspect. Having played it, I think I've changed my mind on it. What will the meta be? Will it be a problem? Well, we'll have to see. Don't know why I attempted to kill that guy with a shotgun first rather than switching to my M1, but we all make mistakes, don't we? Got the finish there and all the loot poops out of him. There are a few noticeable areas on the map. That's one criticism that I have of the map though, that it doesn't really feel like an arena, so to speak. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you think of other battle royale games like PUBG, Fortnite, Apex, in PUBG you've got really iconic areas, right? Like you've got Pachinki, you've got Georgie, you've got the big bridges. In Fortnite you've got areas like Tilted Towers or Retail Road, the new volcano area that's popped up with the pirate ships. And while this graphically looks incredible, I didn't really get those individual iconic area vibes from the couple hours I spent playing the game, but maybe that's just because I've only played it for a little while and it's going to take a bit to experience everything and for the memories to start forming from the gameplay. And this is another game where we dropped at the docks area. I'd say it's one of the more interesting parts of the map from what I got to see and experience so far. Down the guy, but then start getting shot at. And just another note on the armor that I wanted to mention. So you get different tiers of vest, 1, 2 and 3, and they will allow you to put so many armor plates in, and you can find armor plates dotted around the level. And if you kill someone and they've got armor plates on them that they haven't used, you can pick those up and use them. Of course you can. But if they haven't got any unused armor plates on them, when you kill them, there's no way for you to get that armor back. So it would be cool if that was an option, rather than just banking on do they have unused armor plates. Maybe if you kill someone, then there will always be at least one or half of one armor plate, so you're not always in this constant war of attrition with other players, because you want to incentivize people to fight, right? You don't want a situation where everyone is avoiding firefights because they know that they might lose all their armor with no way of getting it back. So I think that's something that the devs need to look at. Right, wrapping things up, Easter egg time. There are a couple of things here that are for sure related to Easter eggs, and up here on the map there's something. Now, there's no story of Firestorm, so to speak. It doesn't explain to you at face value why paratroopers are dropping into an island and why there's a ring of fire and everyone is killing each other. But apparently the story of Firestorm and this environment and what's going on here and this Solace thing is here if you want to find out about it. And this weird Solace thing in the ring of fire, this is definitely something. I bet that there are multiple versions of these scattered across the level and you've got to activate them somehow, and it reveals some thing. I don't know what, an Easter egg, information. There's an air of mystery and pseudoscience here. It's cool. I like the vibe that they're going for with this stuff. It feels very Phantom Program, and I know for a fact that there's going to be some mad Easter egg stuff in Firestorm, and I'm really excited to get stuck into it. Also, in the lobby area, there's something going on, and there are a couple of doors that look like they might open, and also these cans which are scattered around the lobby area. They're definitely there for a reason, because some of them are hidden in alcoves and behind boxes on shelves. I'm thinking that if you hit them or shoot them in a certain order, then that's going to either do something in the lobby area or enable the next step or something when you drop into the game. So I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into this stuff and uncovering what the story is here, because it feels a bit freaky at times and I just love the vibe. Wrapping things up, guys, I think I've explained most of the stuff that Firestorm has to offer there. It's going to have looking for group matchmaking, so if you don't have any friends you could squad up. I don't know if it's got a reconnect feature if you crash or whatever reason. I don't think it has that at the moment. Will it in the future? I don't know. The spectator mode, when you're dead, you can't view your teammates in first person. Kind of annoying. I think there is a spectator mode for the game too. So if you just wanted to watch a match or film some cinematics, you could do that. Maybe potential for esports competitive there if they add RSP in the future. If you already own BF5, it's free. It's just going to be updated and added to the game as a permanent addition. That's great. But on the flip side, we all know this should be a standalone. It should be free to play. And really, it's going to live or die on how regularly it gets updated. Is this going to be a game mode that Criterion and DICE actually commit some devs and time to and keep it regularly updated with changes to the map, new maps, new content, vehicles, weapons, a battle pass of some sort? I don't know. We haven't heard anything about that stuff. So it does feel a bit like they're just going to leave it as it is. And I think that's totally the wrong call, because they could have something really special on their hands here. But it could be, and I'm just hypothetically speaking here, that DICE are working on their own standalone Battlefield Battle Royale game. And this was a bit of a test bed for that to see, does it work? How does it feel? But I just hope that they don't just leave this as it is and they are committed to it, because it's so cool to play Battle Royale in BF5 on the Frostbite engine. It's something different, and as I said in the previous video on Firestorm, I hope that they do some kind of Firestorm edition of the game that's a lot cheaper, or offer free weekends to get people playing this. It's not to everyone's taste, of course. There are some Battlefield players who just don't enjoy Battle Royale, and that's absolutely fine, but I say why not both? I mean, I love Battlefield, I love Conquest, everything that the game has to offer, but at the same time, I'm a fan of these new emerging genres, and I think that Firestorm is a good fit for the Frostbite engine, and I definitely had fun here, but I just hope that the update cadence is good on it. And there are a few gameplay things that I don't agree with, but it's just subjective, and the loot system definitely needs improving because it's just a bit clunky at the moment. The inventory in general take a bit of getting used to. I'm sure that we're going to get updates on that though. But there it is. This will be available on the 25th of March to all BF5 players, so try it out, see what you think, and based on what you've seen and heard today, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you more interested or less interested in Firestorm now that you know more about it and you've seen some gameplay and details? And of course, there are plenty of other content creators who went to that capture event, so don't just take my impression of it. Me personally, I think it's going to be hot for a few weeks, and I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into it when I can play it on my own PC. As I said, I just hope that it gets updated more often than not. And that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.